He's growing quite quickly actually, but he's a little fighter. He kind of he wriggles around quite a lot, and he doesn't want to go to sleep that much, which is a little bit of a problem.
Everyone knows the little boy who makes the funny faces on the palace balcony. Prince Louis is the bright spark that makes the whole world smile. He is the one who sticks out his tongue, covers his ears when the jets fly over, and dances when the music gets loud. But lately, something very strange and a little bit scary has happened. The cameras are searching, the crowds are waiting, and the flags are waving, but Louis is nowhere to be found. He didn't just miss one party or one school day. It's like he vanished into thin air. While the world is asking where he went, the palace is staying as quiet as a grave. What are they hiding? Is there a secret struggle happening behind those big stone walls that is too sad to talk about? Today, we are going to pull back the curtain and look at a heartbreaking truth that even King Charles and Princess Catherine weren't ready for. You need to stay with us until the very end because we have uncovered the secret reason why the world's favorite little prince has been pulled away from the spotlight. Welcome to Behind Reality, your favorite place for the real stories about the people behind the crowns. If you want to know the truth before anyone else and help us grow this amazing community, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe to Behind Reality, you become a part of our family, and you make sure you never miss a single update about the royals you love. We have so much to talk about today, and we are so glad you are here for this journey. Now let's get into the mystery that has everyone in England and around the world wondering what really happened to Prince Louis. It started slowly. At first, no one really noticed. Royal kids don't go to everything right. Sometimes they have a cold, or they have a big test at school, or they just want to stay in their pajamas and play with their toys. That is what everyone thought at the beginning. But then one big event passed, then another. Then a huge celebration happened where the whole family was supposed to be there, and the space next to Princess Charlotte was empty. There was no little boy shifting from foot to foot. There was no funny face making the photographers laugh. There was just silence. The palace didn't say a word. There was no news report saying he was sick. There was no note saying he was busy. This silence started to feel very heavy. It wasn't the kind of silence that means everything is fine. It was the kind of silence that means people are trying to figure out what to say. Prince Louis has always been different from his big brother, George, and his sister, Charlotte. George is the future king, so he is very serious and careful. He stands up straight and knows exactly how to wave. Charlotte is like a little boss. She is confident and always knows what to do. But Louis was the wild one. He was the one who acted like a real kid. He showed his feelings on his face. If he was bored, he looked bored. If he was excited, he jumped up and down. People loved him for that because he made the royal family feel like a real family. But suddenly that spark was gone. It wasn't like he moved away slowly. It was like a door was shut and the world was left standing outside, wondering what was happening on the other side. People on the internet started asking questions. Is Louis okay? Did something happen? Usually the palace is very good at showing us a new picture or giving us a small update to make everyone feel better. But this time they did nothing. No new school pictures, no stories about him playing soccer, nothing. It felt like the royal family was circling the wagons to protect their youngest member. But what were they protecting him from? Some people thought maybe he was just being a handful and they wanted him to stay home until he was older. But others started to worry that it was something much deeper. When you are a royal, your whole life is about being seen. When you are hidden, it almost always means there is a secret. Think back to the last time we saw him on that famous balcony. It was a beautiful day with sunshine and thousands of people cheering. Most people were looking at the big planes flying in the sky, but if you look at the videos of Louis from that day, something looks a little bit off. He wasn't his usual loud and crazy self. His hands were squeezed together very tight. His shoulders were up by his ears. He looked like he wanted to hide. When the noise from the crowds got really loud, he didn't just cover his ears like a joke. He looked like the sound was actually hurting him. His eyes were moving very fast, looking back and forth like he was looking for a way out. This wasn't a kid being silly. This was a kid who was feeling very, very overwhelmed. Right next to him, Princess Catherine was watching. She had her princess smile on for the cameras, but every few seconds she would look down at Louis. It wasn't a be quiet look. It was a "are you okay?" look. She looked worried. She looked like she wanted to pick him up and run inside. Prince William was also acting a bit different. He kept looking behind him at the palace workers, giving them small nods like he was checking on a plan. It felt like the whole family was on high alert, waiting for something to go wrong. After that day, Louis wasn't seen again for a long time. It's like that balcony moment was the final straw. It was the moment his parents realized that they couldn't keep doing things the old way. Here at Behind Reality, we believe that being a mom or a dad is the most important job in the world, even if you are a prince or a princess. And Catherine is a very good mom. We have heard that behind the scenes, she was getting very upset. She didn't like seeing her little boy so stressed out. Imagine being a mother and knowing that the whole world is watching your child, but your child is secretly struggling. She reportedly started writing letters to the people in charge at the palace. She wasn't being mean, but she was being very firm. She told them that Louis couldn't handle the big crowds and the flashing lights anymore. She said that every time he went to a big event, he would come home and be very sad or quiet for days. He couldn't sleep well, and he was getting scared of the cameras. In those letters, Catherine explained that Louis was having a hard time with something called sensory overload. This is when things like loud noises, bright lights, and too many people all at once make a person's brain feel like it's being hit by a giant wave. For some kids, it's just a little bit annoying, but for others, it can feel like the world is ending. Catherine told the palace that they needed to stop forcing him to be on stage. She wanted him to have a normal childhood away from the noise. But the palace people, the ones who follow the old rules, didn't agree at first. They said that a royal prince must be seen. They said that if he stayed home, people would think the monarchy was weak. They wanted him to tough it out. Can you imagine how hard that must have been for Catherine? She was caught between her duty to the king and her love for her son. But Catherine isn't someone who gives up easily. She started keeping a diary of everything that happened with Louis. She wrote down when he was scared and why. She showed that it wasn't just him being a naughty kid. It was a real struggle. She even missed some of her own royal jobs so she could stay home and be with him. This was a huge deal. Usually, royals never miss their appointments unless they are really sick. By staying home, she was sending a message to the palace. "My son comes first." This created a lot of tension. There were people inside the palace walls who were whisperings that Catherine was being too soft. But Catherine knew her son better than anyone. She knew that if they didn't help him now, the problem would only get worse as he got older. Prince William was watching all of this, too. He remembers what it was like to grow up with cameras everywhere. He remembers how hard it was for his mom, Princess Diana, and he didn't want the same thing to happen to Louis. He stood by Catherine's side. One night, a very secret meeting happened at Clarence's house. This is where King Charles lives. It wasn't a meeting about taxes or laws. It was a family meeting about a little boy. William didn't go there to ask for permission. He went there to draw a line in the sand. He brought a report from a doctor, a child psychologist who had been quietly visiting the kids. This doctor explained that Louis wasn't just being shy. He had a real need for a quiet and calm life. The meeting was very serious. King Charles loves his grandkids very much, but he also cares about the history of the throne. He was worried that if Louis stayed hidden, it would look like the family was hiding a secret. But William was firm. He told his father that he wouldn't let his son be used as a show pony for the cameras. He said that Louis's health and happiness were more important than any parade or balcony wave. He told the king that they were going to stop bringing Louis to big events for a while. The room was very quiet. It was a moment where the future king was standing up to the current king. William made it clear he is a father first and a prince second. After that meeting, the palace finally released a very short statement. They didn't give many details, but they used a very interesting phrase. They said Louis would be taking protected time. This is a fancy palace way of saying, leave him alone. They didn't say when he would be back. They didn't say exactly what was wrong. They just told the world to stop looking for him. This was a win for Catherine and William, but it also confirmed what we all feared. Louis was really struggling. This wasn't a vacation. It was a rescue mission for a little boy's heart. You might be wondering, what does a heartbreaking diagnosis really mean for a royal? Well, a doctor who knows about these things spoke out recently. He said that kids like Louis, who are very expressive and full of energy, often have very sensitive nervous systems. When they are put into situations with thousands of screaming fans and giant airplanes roaring overhead, their brains go into fight or flight mode. This means they feel like they are in danger even when they are safe. If this happens too much, it can lead to anxiety or big emotional crashes. The doctor said that the best thing for a kid like this is to have a very simple, quiet life for a while. They need to play in the grass, read books, and be around people who don't expect them to be perfect. This is what Behind Reality has learned is happening right now. Louis is in a special program at his school where things are very calm. He has smaller classes and plenty of time to just be himself. He isn't being asked to wear itchy suits or stand still for hours. He is allowed to be Louis. And while we miss seeing his funny faces, we have to remember that he is just a child. He didn't choose to be born in a palace. He didn't choose to have everyone in the world know his name. He deserves a chance to grow up without being scared. But what does this mean for the future of the royal family? For hundreds of years, the rule was keep calm and carry on. It meant that no matter how sad or scared you were, you had to put on a costume and a smile and show up for work. But William and Catherine are changing that. They are saying that mental health matters more than tradition. This is a big change for the monarchy. Some people think it's great that they are being so modern and caring. But others worry that if everyone starts taking protected time, there won't be any royals left to do the work. It's a very difficult balance to find. King Charles has had a very hard year with his own health, and seeing his family go through this has been tough. He wants the monarchy to look strong, but he also wants his family to be happy. He has reportedly agreed to let William and Catherine handle Louis their own way. This shows that the king is starting to trust the younger generation to make the big decisions. He knows that the world is different now than it was when he was a boy. Back then, kids were seen and not heard. Now we know that kids need to be heard and understood. As we look at the empty space on the balcony, it reminds us that even the most famous people in the world have problems just like we do. They worry about their kids, they have disagreements with their parents, and they sometimes need to take a break. Prince Louis might not be back in the spotlight for a long time. And you know what? That's okay. We want him to be happy more than we want to see a funny picture of him. We want him to grow up to be a strong and confident young man who isn't afraid of the world. The story of Prince Louis is a reminder to all of us to be kind. We never know what someone is going through behind the scenes. Just because someone is smiling on the outside doesn't mean they aren't struggling on the inside. Catherine's bravery in standing up for her son is something every parent can admire. She showed that she is a lioness when it comes to her children. And William showed that he is a new kind of leader, one who cares about the feelings of his family as much as the rules of the crown. The palace might still be mostly silent, but the message is getting through. The royal family is changing. They are becoming more human. They are showing us that it is okay to step back when things get too much. By protecting Louis now, they are making sure that he has a better future. They are breaking the cycle of duty at any cost that has hurt so many royals in the past. It's a brave new world for the Windsors, and Louis is at the very heart of it. So, while we wait for the day that we see that famous spark again, we can send our best wishes to the family. We can hope that the protected time is giving Louis exactly what he needs. We can look forward to a day when he can walk out onto that balcony and feel happy instead of scared. Until then, we will keep an eye on the news and keep you updated on everything happening behind reality. We believe that the truth is always worth knowing, even when it's a little bit complicated. This mystery has shown us that the royal family is just that, a family. They have big houses and fancy crowns, but at the end of the day, they are just people trying to do their best for their kids. The heartbreaking diagnosis of sensory struggle isn't a weakness. It's just a different way of seeing the world. And with the love of his mom and dad, we know Louis is going to be just fine. Now, we really want to hear from you. This is a big topic, and everyone has an opinion. Do you think Prince William and Catherine are doing the right thing by keeping Louis away from the cameras? Do you think the royal family should be more open about what is happening, or is their privacy more important? We love reading your comments and seeing how our Behind Reality community feels about these stories. Please share your thoughts below. And if you haven't already, make sure to share this video with your friends and family. Let's get a big conversation going about why mental health and family should always come first, even for a prince. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Your support means everything to us. We work hard to bring you the stories that matter, and we couldn't do it without you. Remember to keep being kind to one another and to yourself. Life can be loud and overwhelming sometimes, just like a royal balcony, and it's okay to take your own protected time when you need it. We will be back soon with more news and secrets from the world of the royals. Until then, stay curious and stay loyal to your own heart. This is Behind Reality, signing off for now. See you in the next video. Wait, before you go, did you know that Prince George and Princess Charlotte have been helping their little brother, too? We've heard some sweet stories about how they play quiet games with him and help him feel safe when things get noisy. It's so good to see the siblings sticking together. It just goes to show that no matter how big the palace is, the most important thing is the love inside it. We'll talk more about the royal siblings in our next video, so make sure your notifications are turned on. The story of Prince Louis is still being written, and we are all lucky to be witnesses to this new way of being royal. It might be a little bit different than what we are used to, but it feels like the right path. As the palace doors stay closed for Louis, a new door is opening for a healthier and happier royal family, and that is a story we can all get behind. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you very soon. The world will always love the little boy who made us laugh, but now we are learning to love the parents who are protecting him. It's a powerful lesson for everyone. No matter who you are, your well-being is the most important thing you have. And as Prince Louis plays in the quiet gardens of his home, away from the flashing lights, we can all take a deep breath and be happy for him. He's not a missing prince anymore. He's just a little boy getting the rest he needs. Keep an eye out for our next update, where we might just have more news on when Louis might make his big return. But for now, let's just let him be a kid. After all, isn't that what we all want for the people we care about? The royal veil is always moving, and there is always something new to see. But sometimes, the most important thing to see is that someone is being taken care of. One last thing, don't forget to check out our playlist for more deep dives into the lives of the royal family. There is so much more to discover, and we are here to tell you all of it. From the history of the crowns to the secrets of the palace kitchens, we have it all. Stay tuned to Behind Reality and keep exploring the amazing world of the British monarchy with us. Is there a specific royal mystery you want us to look into? Let us know in the comments. We are always looking for new stories to tell, and we want to make the videos that you want to see. Your voice is important to us, so don't be shy. We are a community, and we want to hear from every single one of you. As we end this video, think about the silence of the palace. Sometimes silence isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it's exactly what is needed to heal and grow. And for Prince Louis, silence might just be the best gift he could ever receive. Thanks for being here, and we will see you very soon in our next royal adventure. Goodbye for now, and remember, the most beautiful thing anyone can wear isn't a diamond tiara, it's a happy heart. And that is exactly what Prince William and Princess Catherine are trying to give to their youngest son. See you next time.